Clint Eastwood, soldier, survivor, superstar. Before Clint Eastwood became a Hollywood legend, the cowboy with no name, Dirty Harry, and the director of award-winning films, he was just a young man drafted into the U.S. Army during the Korean War. What most people don't know is that his time in uniform nearly cost him his life. In 1951, Clint Eastwood was drafted into the Army. He was stationed at Fort Ord in California, a base known for training soldiers headed to Korea. Eastwood's duties weren't glamorous. He worked as a swimming instructor and lifeguard, and sometimes helped with odd jobs around the post. But even in those years, Eastwood was quietly building traits that would serve him later: discipline, resilience, and a calm confidence that became his trademark on screen. The most dramatic moment of his service came not on the ground, but in the air. Eastwood had hitched a ride on a Navy bomber from Seattle to California. Somewhere off the coast of Point Reyes, disaster struck. The plane ran out of fuel and went down into the cold Pacific Ocean. Eastwood was just 21 years old when he suddenly found himself in shark-infested waters with nothing but his strength and determination. For hours, he and another soldier swam through freezing surf, pushing against exhaustion, until they finally staggered onto the shore. Years later, Eastwood admitted the experience left a permanent mark. "I found myself in the water and thought, well, 21 years is not enough. I just kept swimming." That near-death survival gave him a new outlook. Eastwood often said it gave him the grit to face Hollywood's rejections, and the patience to keep fighting for roles when others quit. When he finally made it big in the 1960s with Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, audiences were drawn to that same toughness. The quiet man who could stare danger in the face without flinching. And it was real. Clint Eastwood had already proven in uniform that he could survive the impossible. Eastwood's military service didn't just shape his characters, it shaped his leadership. As a director, he became known for calm confidence on set, rarely raising his voice and leading by example. That discipline, forged in the Army, guided him through decades of filmmaking success. From soldier to survivor to superstar, Clint Eastwood's story reminds us that some of the greatest legends are forged not on the silver screen, but in the trials of real life. His near-fatal swim through the Pacific wasn't just a survival story. It was the moment that defined the man who would become one of Hollywood's greatest icons.